not letting me do it. Not letting me do it. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I'm excited to have my girl here. So it does look like we are going live on Instagram as well. Um, I see a countdown on Instagram. And we are here on YouTube and Facebook, getting ready to talk about Awakening the Spirit Plant Medicine Retreat. So, hello, Diane. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You want to introduce yourself?
Sure. Diane Ghogomu here. And yeah,
Afro-Cosmic Diane Ghogomu.
Cosmic is the middle name in the game. Yeah, so also co-director of Cacao Love. We would both love to be drinking our little cacao right now, but hey, we're busy women and we'll have to do it later today. And also director of Afro-Cosmic, which is an organization for African and Indigenous sovereignty. And one of the amazing things that we do together is also create those bridges between our African and Indigenous communities through retreats.
Yes. So, as you're coming on, I see people are on here. Say hello. Let us know who's on here, and where you're coming from. And we are here to answer questions. So, real quick, Diane, it says that I am live now on Instagram. So, check yours to make sure if you have to hit go live.
How do I do that? I'm slow, y'all. I'm slow at this.
But while she does that, while she checks her Instagram to make sure she's on Instagram as well, let me introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. I am Prandara Prim. So I am a shamanic holistic tantric therapist, ordained minister. I have my doctorate of divinity. I have a master's in psychology, postgraduate degree in transpersonal psychology. What does all of that mean? That's a whole lot of stuff. But anyway, I met Diane in Brazil, so I'm so excited. We met a while back in Brazil, and both of us was living there. Both of us were on very similar tracks. And when she came to Rio, both of us had actually lived in Salvador. She came to Rio. Somebody connected us, and then she came to one of the tantric events that we were doing in Botafogo, and we connected. Amanda, oh my God, hey Amanda, thank you for coming on. Listen, Amanda, I have so many people who keep saying, when are you coming back to the DMV? When are you coming back to DC?
Yeah, I bet.
I'm like, I need to talk to you, find out about your new space so I can set that up. So we need to talk. And thanks for joining my live. And so Diane and I are here. We're going to be talking about our retreat that we're doing in Brazil, January 27th to February 4th, or January 28th to February 4th, something like that. We're going to be doing that retreat. And so Diane and I met in Brazil, in Rio, at one of the tantric meditations that we were doing. And we hit it off, like, that's my sister. And Amanda, you remember Diane? We came the very first time we worked, we did anything at Mind Body Oasis was together.
Yes. I've been hollering at Amanda.
Yes. And so then I don't know if you remember, I was doing my women gymnastic pomporismo course. Diane came and I was like, all right, Diane does yoga and all kinds of stuff. So you go ahead and do the pelvic floor stuff, the yoga stuff. And she did it. And after that, she was just like, we were like together. We did our first retreat together in Brazil. It was amazing. And she dropped off somehow. So, but it was absolutely amazing. And now her and I are back at it again. We're about to do our next retreat this year in 2027 together. So, so this is really for us to be able to talk about the retreat, what it will entail, as well as answer any questions that y'all may have. Here she is back on.
And all the Instagram and this and the this and then look, we're just gonna be happy where it is, and I'm gonna put it.
Okay, yes.
It's giving me an error for some reason as I try to go live, so I'll have to troubleshoot that later.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. If you want to just kind of maybe try, I don't know, put your phone on. It won't have both of us, I don't think, but maybe put your phone on. Oh, wait, I wonder if I can invite you. Hold on, let's try that real quick.
You trying to invite me?
Let's see if I can
And
invite
see what
you.
happens there.
No.
No?
No, it doesn't show how I can invite you. Or go
Oh, but let me
on your
try to
phone.
join yours. Let me
Yeah,
see
that's
if
what I was gonna
I
say. Go on your
join.
phone and try to join. Let's see what happens. Oh, hey, people from Instagram, Laura, Lauren, um, Maudie. I know you're Diane's people. Say hello, welcome. Oops,
Hey,
I think I hit
hey,
something.
hey, hey.
Let's
As
see.
we as we try to navigate our technologies.
Technology is absolutely amazing. We're able to do all kinds of things. Hey, Natasha, peace and love, West in Atlanta. So, y'all, Natasha has been on a previous retreat of mine. I would love to have her be on this one, but I know she got stuff going on. But hey, would love to hear anything you got to say about your experience from your last retreat that you joined me on. Natasha is a Virgo like me,
Oh, we love
really,
it.
really, really special. So she gonna be on another retreat again. She gonna be on another one. I have faith in that. Hi, anyone else who's on Instagram or YouTube or Facebook, say hi. Let us know you are here. So thank you, Natasha. Let's see. She says that, and she's so beautiful. Look at that beautiful smile.
Aww.
Yes. So it's amazing. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love when we have somebody come from, previous retreats and can just say how good it is, and how life changing it is. And so, real quick, and I'm gonna let you talk to Diane, but I just want to say, based on what you're saying, how it's life changing. Brazil is life changing, and when I went to Brazil, it completely changed my life. Like
I
I was
say.
just a traditional psychotherapist in the US seeing clients, doing a private practice. Um and I got burnt out. But it's like when I went to Brazil, I came alive. I connected to my heritage, my roots, you know, through the Afro-Brazilian dancing, through the drumming, through going to condom lace ceremonies,
Yeah.
experiencing orishas. My
Yeah.
family's from Haiti, and I wasn't really connected to that side. I didn't know about that stuff. And it wasn't until I got to Brazil that I was like, oh my God, now I need to open and expand and learn more about my heritage. I learned how to have pleasure and joy. I learned
Mm,
how to live. And
yes.
so from there, I was like, I need to bring people to Brazil. It started with bringing women to
Yes.
Brazil, women of color. And we're expanding that because, men need to do this work too. Men need to experience this and come alive, and do the healing. So,
Yes. Yes. And it's a very parallel path for me as well. I was on the path, I was an academic, right? I was on the path excuse me, I don't know what's going on in my throat. But I had a grant. And actually, through that Fulbright grant, I got sent to Bahia in my first year doing research in Argentina. As soon as I stepped foot in Bahia, in Salvador, Bahia, I looked around and I thought, hell am I doing research in Argentina for? What the hell am I in Argentina for when I can be living here in this place, which feels so much like my familial and ancestral lands, which is Cameroon, right? I was like, this feels like Cameroon. This feels like home. and everybody recognized me already as somebody who was home there. It was just like, oh, but you're not from here. And I'm still asked for my passport, my Brazilian passport, every time I go into customs in Brazil. And so when I stepped foot there, I gave a presentation. I was there every morning, 6 a.m. My body would just wake up naturally, and I would go immediately to the beach. I mean, first of all, I was just looking at the people on the beach because,
You can't help but look.
I mean, I mean, I just tell people, I'm like, look, you got to be careful too coming to Bahia, because some people just don't ever come back. And
Right.
that's how we were as well. And so I was just in awe of the surfers and the people walking on the beach, and how people would just made it such a beautiful priority to make sure that they were out in nature, make sure that they were present, that they would look you in the eye, that they'll give you a wink, that they'll offer you something. And I just felt immediately so connected to this land. And I said to myself at that, I was 21, I said, when I come back here, the next time I come back, I'm going to live here.
Yes.
And I did. It took me a few years. I had to finish my documentary, finish my research in Argentina, and I moved directly to Salvador de Bahia. And you know what day I arrived for? Right on the lead up to Dia de Iemanjá, the day
Yes.
of Iemanjá. And
Yes.
that's opening into Brazil and Bahia and the magic of the spirits that are just so alive, the music, the dance, the food, the smells, everything is just so visceral, so
Mm.
alive, that you can't help coming alive with it, because it just awakens the spirit, it awakens the senses. And I have a theory that Brazil is actually the heart center of the physical world.
Yes, it is.
Do you believe so too?
I believe so too. I definitely believe so. It is. Um, Amazon is the heartbeat, right, of the world, and Brazil. It's like it's impossible to go to Brazil and not come back being changed. And Natasha says, after your retreat, I feel like I went from the 12th grade to a master's program. The self-discovery
Hey,
rise in my personal vibration is unmatched. So many transformative sessions. And then she said, based on what you said, she believes that too. And it's once you experience Brazil, you will feel that and you will believe that too. Like for sure.
because it's the coming together of, I feel like every part of the world has its, whether we want to
Yeah.
call them chakras, energetic centers, right? The
Mhm.
United States, where, it's very much about
Arizona.
the logic, and also I think that the God, I'm not thinking in English today. The umbiligo, what is this? This is the
The stomach you said umbigo is like somewhere around
but
the stomach.
the third chakra, we're
Oh, the
talking
solar plexus.
solar plexus. So I think the US also in identity, I am,
Yes.
right? You've got UK, which is like on that side of Europe, which is so much thought based. And then you have, you know, most of the continent of Africa where I'm living, where you have, it's so much root. It's the root of everything. And Brazil brings in all of those points, right? Brazil
Yes.
has European ancestry, it has African ancestry, and it has indigenous ancestry. And those three things come together in such a powerful spiritual way that it feels like everyone feels at home,
Yes.
because you can see how every single part of the world, it's almost as if it's refracted through Brazil and integrated. And I think that's why, as a whole, obviously, you have Brazilians, chatos, annoying Brazilians, and you have marvelous Brazilians. But as a whole, culturally, and particularly in Salvador, there's a there's an open heartedness, and there's a joy for living that comes from the integration, I think, of all that spiritual integration.
Yes. So I may be going back and forth from to Instagram as well, and I see Maudie here. She am I pronouncing your name correctly? Morty Frazier, she says belly button um, for the umbigo. And she says Brazil is also the place where I feel most alive and the brightest version of myself. Yes. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes. Um, so again, as you're coming on, say hi, let us know. And if you have any questions, this is really your opportunity to be able to ask any questions that you may have about what the experience is going to be like. So we're going to have you feel Brazil. But we're going to do a lot of different things. And so before we go into all of the different things, I do want to say, someone just asked me. Actually, I was talking to my auntie today. My auntie, because we had a death in the family, and I called my auntie, and she's like, tell me about the work that you do. And I was telling him, I said, um, because my family's always like, I don't know what you do. We don't know what you do. Like as many times as I try to tell them, they're like, I don't know. And so,
My
um,
favorite question is to ask my family members, what do you tell people I do?
right. Well, let me tell you, my nephews, my nieces and nephews say Auntie teaches people how to have sex, and I'm like,
I
that's
love
what she said.
it.
Yes, and I'm like, okay, way to let your parents have a fit, like have a heart attack. But anyway, so it's so interesting. When I was talking to my auntie today, I was like, what I love about my job is that I help people help themselves first of all, because I'm not
Yes.
doing it right. You're doing the thing. I
Mm-hmm.
assist them in doing the healing that they need, but in a pleasurable way. Like they can
Yes.
have pleasure, they can laugh, they can dance, they can enjoy life. And so one of the people that I followed, one of the gurus, Osho, there's good and bad. I've heard about him, but one of the things that he says,
We're Osho
you know,
girlies, though. That's
we are,
okay. We can
we
be
are.
Osho girlies. That's how we
Yeah,
met.
that's how we met. Osho says the more serious you are, the more like a corpse you are. And
Mm.
so I say this to say a lot of this work, Diane and I do some serious work. We're constantly in ceremony, but it's like traditionally, when she was talking about the energetic centers and the US being serious identity, who I am, it's like, you can do the healing work and have fun. You can do the healing work and laugh. And
Yes.
so that's what this is about. We're gonna do dancing. Might meet some guys or some women and have some kisses because you're in Brazil, they real quick with kissing you. So
Oh, so true.
the last retreat we went
I
out,
learned
we went out
PDA in
videos.
Brazil. I learned to love PDA in Brazil, girl. Making out in the streets.
Yes.
Nothing better.
The last retreat, the ladies, they got surprised when some guys kissed them. I'm like, yeah, it happens real quick before you even know it. you know. And so, we're gonna dance. We're gonna do Afro-Brazilian dance. We're gonna do drumming. We're gonna, do medicine. So let me see. Kasaji
Yes.
says, I took this retreat to recover from several deaths in my family and to strengthen my resolve in my new caregiver role for my elderly.
Bless you, Natasha. You are a warrior. And it's just that it connects to that recovery. So much of that recovery can come from a pleasurable place and it come from a joyful place. And I think Renee and I, we took a hiatus. I mean, we always work together. We've worked together for at least 10 years now.
Hmm.
And we find that what we have is such a beautiful and effortless relationship in work. We've never had a work argument. We've never had a disagreement about money. We've never had any of those things. And we've worked very deeply and very extensively over these past 10 years. But why is that? Because both of us are, yes, so serious about what we do.
Hmm.
100%, 10 toes down about that life. Like,
Hmm.
okay, if you know, you know that we don't
Right.
play around and we are, oh, what do we got to do? Yeah, let's do it. However, Renee came to Kenya a few months ago.
Hmm.
And when we got back into just the groove of being with each other and felt that collective joy and just how much we were laughing and how much we were in this flow of life together, we recognized, oh, right, this is the gift that we have to give and that we have to share, because we are very serious about understanding spiritual transformation. And this is why, Brazil has also been such an important place for our spiritual life.
Mm-hmm.
But we are also always ready to laugh at ourselves and to laugh at whatever is going on. And we will tell each other the deepest, the darkest shit, and then we will crack up,
Yes.
because what else can we do if we are not laughing? And how else can we come into a place of harmony unless we are in joy?
Mm-hmm.
And Brazil is one of those places, particularly Bahia, where we can truly go out into the streets and the joy is palpable. You can smell
Yes.
it, you can feel it, you can, as soon as you come in, it's like there's almost this tension in the air, because you're like, what's going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
Anything could happen. And I'm so excited that anything could happen right now.
Yes. And so, and let me piggyback on what you said, because that's very important, right? Coming on our retreat, you have to be open to say anything could happen and to go with the flow. You cannot come on the retreat and be like, I expect things to go this way, this way, this way. What's the itinerary? I need to know that this is happening, because that's not going to work. You have to surrender. And for the
Mm.
true healing and the true benefits to come, you have to surrender. Natasha know me because she's a Virgo like me. I'm a Virgo. Virgos are very like this, detail oriented. Okay, what's about to happen? That we have to know everything, have to control everything, right? And I believe Natasha, well, I know because I saw her transition and let go and surrender. And that's one of the things I
Ashe.
had to do. Being there, Ashe, it was like I had to stop saying, when is this going to happen? Why is it taking so long?
It's
Yeah,
like,
right. And it's like Prandara Prim actually means to go with the flow of love and life. That's the name
mm,
that I received in a Tantra commune that I lived at. And it was like so perfect because that was the thing that I had to learn, right? And I was learning to go with the flow of love and life. And so coming to
yes.
Brazil, let go of any thoughts that you might have of okay, what's the itinerary? So on Tuesday at 2 p.m. we're doing yoga or we're doing a dance class. Being open because we might have a cacao ceremony and then all of a sudden we have an opportunity to go to a condom lay ceremony. So we might shift and be like, okay, let's do that. We'll do the cacao ceremony when we get back,
Yeah.
or or earlier. So because miracles happen and it's a magical place, but you have to trust us and know that um, when we
You have
surrender,
to
when we
give
surrender,
spaciousness for miracles, don't you?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
hmm
That's
yeah,
beautiful.
and that's the best thing, the best thing, and yeah, just being open, being surrendering. So yeah, so
Let's
we
take
really
some.
both wanted to have cacao, but I had just got back. We were ripping and running.
I
Um,
kind
but
of.
who better to tell us about cacao? And actually, I just had somebody send me a message needing the link to buy some cacao. I need to send it to her. One of my coworkers was like, because I bring cacao to work. I
Okay.
bring my cacao to work. And one of my coworkers was like, Prandara, what's the link to the cacao? I want to order some of that cacao. So, and I didn't send it to her yet because I've been ripping and running. So I'm like, let me send that. But who
Yes.
better to talk about the cacao than the one and only Diane, who I buy my cacao from. And if you want to add the link to where people can get it, go ahead and add it in a private chat or in the comments.
Yeah, sure. And very soon that link is actually going to be US based link. Right now, of course, so I with my partner, am the co-director of Cacao Love, which is a regenerative cacao business where we work with the only all indigenous cooperative in Peru, from the Ashen Inca tribes. And we work with Criollo cacao, which is one of the oldest strains of unabridged, oldest strains of cacao on the planet, thousands and thousands and thousands of years. People have been using cacao, which is chocolate in its most natural, most nutritious, and most powerful form, right? So a lot of that candy that you get, that's candy, right? Do you know Reese's, for example, doesn't even have real cocoa or cacao in it anymore? Okay, I love that. Um, it's literally stripped of everything. But chocolate, in its most natural form, as it's been used for literally 6,500 years that we know of today, is has been used to lubricate intentions. It's been used to
Wait,
open
did
the
you say
heart.
lubricate?
I did,
You said
bird.
lubricate?
I
What
said
else is a lubricate?
lubricate.
Lubricate that chassis.
No, we
Lubricate
like to
those
lubricate.
intestines.
We like to keep things lubricated. Uh, but really, and I love to use that word because it's like, okay, it's a taboo word so much, but it's like, first of all, in sex and in other areas, lubrication is oftentimes what we need. You got that squeaky door, you got that, you want things to be able to flow more. You need to be able to lubricate your intentions, right?
Yes,
You need them to be able to flow to
yes. I'm about to make cacao after this because I'm trying to lubricate my intentions.
Okay, you're never gonna forget that one. Put it in your
No, I'm
pocket.
not.
Put
I
it
was
in your
using it.
pocket.
See, y'all. This is why she had to explain this.
We needed that. We needed that today
Yes,
to remind us about what's happening in our day. Where do we need to be more lubricated?
right.
And it's funny too because I closed this squeaky door yesterday. I'm here in California. I'm in the Bay Area. If anybody's in the Bay, holler at me. Right now, I'll be here for a little while. And I'm taking care of a newborn, and there's this squeaky door, right? And so every time you open it, and I'm like, man, it just needs a little bit of lube, right? It needs a little bit of lubrication, that WD-40s, to make sure that that door opens and closes smoothly. And this is exactly what cacao does with that portal of our heart, right? It brings us into a place where we can be in that constant expansion, contraction, expansion, bring it in, inhale, exhale. And it also allows us to have the courage because in Brazil, as we say, no, Brasil não é para principiantes, né? Brazil
Mhm.
is not for beginners, Brazil is for expertas, right? So you need to have courage as well to embark upon a journey like this, right? And cacao allows us to shut down that. It calms the amygdala, it calms that seeking response, that fear response, so that we can truly be in our power, in our warrior heart.
Yeah.
And so we're going to share a lot of cacao. I'm sure we'll do ceremonies, but I'm also sure I drink cacao every day. I know you be drinking
Yeah.
cacao all the time as well. We're just going to be sharing it, and we're all going to come into that really subtle beauty and energy of a plant medicine and a plant sacrament that has been revered for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. My partner and I, we just wrote a book about it, actually, too. Anybody who wants to learn more, it's called Cacao Ceremony, Sharing the Medicine of the Heart. You can see that on Amazon or any local bookstore. And it's because it allows us to feel the psychoactive, like you can feel it in your body. You can feel the pleasure more easily. It increases sensation by sometimes 70%. And
Wow.
our skin, yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
drink
know,
cacao before intimacy,
yeah.
always.
So it's so interesting because I just had a ceremony that I led beginning of this month of August, and
Mm,
we drink cacao in the evening time.
mhm.
And he was like one of the guys that participated. He was like, "Wow, this has me so relaxed,
Yes.
so relaxed." Like he's like, so this is okay to drink before at nighttime before going to sleep. He was like, I don't
Yes.
think so because it has caffeine. But he was like, oh my God, like I feel so good. And I'm like,
Yes.
yes, it puts
Let me
you
tell you the science behind that.
okay, please do. But let me share real quick. And then I want to
Yeah,
hear the
sorry.
science behind that because I'm like, it puts you in this zen-like state. And it's just like you feel good. And you speak more like slowly and deliberately. And like, it's like, yeah. And I read just today or yesterday what you wrote about drinking cacao before lovemaking. And I'm like,
Yes.
oh, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to
Yes.
drink cacao before lovemaking.
Yes, you are.
So tell us the
Let me be,
bring
yeah, I'll be a nerd now after your description. Uh,
it and
let,
and please write it in the chats. Write the link for
oh, yeah,
people to follow you too, and for the book.
I shall, I shall.
Can you write and talk
Yes.
at the same time or
Can I? Oof. Can you see me?
oh no,
No.
well,
No, I
no, go
can't.
ahead and write.
Sorry.
I'm gonna talk while you write. Go ahead and write the name
Okay.
of the book. If you have the link, all of that stuff, the Instagram, and I'll like
Okay.
build some kind of momentum as you're writing.
Ah,
So the love is yours
hey.
because she found out about the cacao and how the cacao makes you zen and opens you up for beautiful love. So D Love is yours, is typing and about to share with you where you can order some lubricant for your chassis. I mean cacao. Yeah. And where you can order her book, Cacao Ceremony, and anything else you
Yes.
want to write. Like maybe we could follow her if you don't follow her
There we
already.
go. All right, all right. Here we go. Now, how do I get back to
Okay.
you now? Can
Okay,
you
I'll get
still
it.
see me? Okay, here it is.
Yes, I get it.
Yes. Yeah, it's so beautiful because, cacao has been revered for so long that even the deities of cacao are different. They're both masculine and feminine. There were certain parts of the world that felt cacao was a very masculine spirit and like had masculine spirits connected to it. There were others who, most people now call it mama cacao. They refer to this cacao goddess. And when people, and I tell people, look, I believe cacao, this tree is both. Like it has many layers and it has um, many incredible, like the list of all of the incredible ways that cacao works with us is just endless. But what I love about it is exactly what you said. It is a stimulant, and yet that stimulant is has a many multiple xanthalenes, which means it's not going to ever give you a crash. It releases very slowly over 4 to 6 hours because theobroma comes and it pumps oxygenated blood through the body and it works with the caffeine. And so it never gives you a crash. It gives you slow release, slow release, slow release. Plus, it has lots of magnesium in it. It has iron. It has all of these things that also come and give you bliss and relax the nervous system and relax the smooth muscles. And so it allows us to also sleep better. So when people say, oh, it's a stimulant, I can't have it. And I say, well, maybe some people are really, really sensitive to stimulants. And so, yeah, maybe you shouldn't have it. You'll be climbing up the walls. But for most people, you can have it morning, you can have it afternoon, and you can have it night because it allows you to enter into, as you said, that very smooth, lubricated state.
Who doesn't
If
want a
you
smooth
have a problem with
lubricated
giggling, you should not hang out with Brenda and I.
right?
I would say 70% of our life is giggling at something
Yes.
and cackling if we're not
And
giggling.
cackling. Oh my God. Let me tell you. Wait. So let me tell you. I'm gonna go to Instagram and check comments from there. Um, the thing is, I'll be talking to Diane, and she'll like tell it like it is. Like she'll be like telling it like it is. Like, dang. But then, but then you can't help but laugh. I'm like, she right. She right. She'll be like, I'll say something. She'll be like, how many times do I got to tell you this? I done said this before. And I'm just like, laughing my ass off because I know. I'm like, I know your girl is stubborn and hard headed. I
This is why Virgos and Scorpios are meant for each other. It's one of the most deepest and most profound bonds because we tell it as it is. You tell it as it is, and I'll be like, yeah, you right. You right. Oh,
right.
okay.
We keep it real.
You're doing this. I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. Ecstatic Shakti, love cacao all day, baby. Yes. And Pil Pilna Nice. I don't know if I'm saying it
Pillin!
correctly. Huh? Pilan?
Pillin!
Yes, cacao
Oh,
invites
you're
us to
gonna love
grow.
Pillin. You guys
Oh,
haven't met yet, but that's about to be your new best friend.
okay. Where does she live?
She's in New York, Connecticut, but she's all over always doing
Okay,
her
okay.
thing.
Okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so what else are we gonna do? So what else? So we're gonna do cacao. We're going to do Brazilian dance. Whew. Now, if y'all haven't done Brazilian dance, it's a workout. It's a workout. Yep. Go ahead. Go Diane. Go Diane. Go Diane. Go Diane. Go. Go Diane. Go. So I was gonna get up and dance myself, but your girl is sore. I worked out on my legs, but I am wearing the first our first t-shirt from our retreat we did together.
Oh my God, I love
2021. Do you remember
that.
this? It was the Sacred Soul Sisters retreat. Salvador, Bahia,
I still
2021.
love that shirt. Look at how cute it is.
I know. Can you
Rest
believe I
in
still have
peace.
it? Yes.
Rest in peace because you remember who did our t-shirts.
Yes.
Beautiful soul, but rest in peace. Yeah.
Yeah. May he rest in peace. His
Mm,
work is not forgotten. I'm
never.
like, somehow through everywhere I've lived and been, I still have this shirt. Um,
Incredible.
yeah. So, Morty, we're gonna be doing all the dances, but we're gonna go to Afro-Brazilian dance classes. But if we're in Brazil and we go out, they got forró, samba, all of that. But the Brazilian the dance classes was gonna be
Beautiful.
Orisha dance classes. Right now she's doing the forró, so we're gonna do that too. Whatever comes up, whatever we find, we're gonna have a good time. And I love me some forró. So, fun fact, FOHO is
I love
very
how you
similar.
just said that like so black. Like, I love me some faux ho. Give me the faux ho.
FOHO. Ho. So, give me some FOHO. In Portuguese, the double R in the middle of the word sounds like an H. And it took me some time when I first got there. I'd hear people say Baja, and I'm like, Baja, what is Baja? Because it's spelled Barra. So I'm pronouncing it
Yeah.
like Spanish. Barra, Barra. I'm going to Barra. And the people are like, where's that? I'm like, it's right here. Like, no, Baja. So anyway, Foho is like, y'all, I'm having a hot flash right now. Foho is like compa music from Haiti. So it's
Oh
so
yeah.
close, so similar. Um, so when I got to Brazil and I started hearing forró and I started dancing, people were like, how do you know how to dance that? I'm like, because it's pretty much the same as my music in Haiti. So
Yep.
anyway,
Love that.
little side note. But it just shows you how everything is connected. And I love like again, that's how it brought me to my roots, like seeing that connection. Um, if you're from New Orleans, you're gonna see a connection, you know,
And
from
you
the
said it properly. Okay,
course.
pronouncing it
I
properly.
don't see New Orleans. You know, I'm saying it right. New Orleans, New Orleans. Not but yeah, so so yes, so God, I done went off topic. Yes, we're gonna have Arisha dance classes for um
Let me just interject because what is the Odishas, right? One of the things that we will be introduced to, and one of the most life changing parts for me about meeting Brazilian people, starting, because I started Orisha dance when I was living in Argentina still. Um, I arrived in Brazil already fluent in Portuguese because I was only around Brazilian people when I was living in Argentina. And one of the first things that I ever met that changed me fundamentally was Orisha, learning that if you've ever heard of Ifa, the Yoruba people of Nigeria have this way of life called Ifa, and everybody had around the kingdom and the society of the Yoruba people, each element, like each river, each mountain, had a deity and had a specific way that that could be venerated. And those are now what we call the spirits. They were spirits that were venerated. So you'd have the river of Oshun. Many of you maybe have heard of Oshun, right? Oshun represents this goddess of the sweet waters, and she's diplomatic and she's beautiful and she attracts everything she wants. You have Shango, who I was just talking about, who, he's the god of both vanity and justice, and he wields his fire. And every single one of these deities was first in Nigeria
Mm.
and then traveled all through the Americas, survived the entire transatlantic slavery, survived hundreds of years of enslavement of African people, even started mixing with indigenous and European deities from, because Europeans, don't forget, y'all had tribes too, okay? Y'all had tribes and you had spirits, and those
Mhm.
also came through.
Mhm.
So all of those things survived and are so alive for over thousands of years. And those are the spirits that people in Brazil, and particularly in Salvador, are venerating. They are making offerings to. And we will go to ceremonies also to celebrate this tradition that Pranda has already mentioned, which is called candomblé. And candomblé is a mixture of the Yoruba people that came, the Angola people that came, the Congo people that came, and then also mixed with Catholicism and also mixed with indigenous understandings. So this cosmology and these temples are just incredible, incredible ways to access and understand every aspect of both nature and the nature that is in us, right? How do you understand how to be a warrior when you need to be a warrior? Well, you go to Shango, you say, oh, I'm gonna use my fire right now. How do you understand how to be sweet and diplomatic and flirtatious when you need to be? Because it's what will allow you. Yeah, Renee loves this. Hey, go on Renee's Instagram. You gonna be, ooh, she gonna talk to you. She gonna talk to you pretty, okay? How do you learn that? You study Oshun, you study the goddess of sweetness. How do you learn to be, how do you learn to come and change up what you need to change up? You start to convene and pray to Oya, the goddess of the winds, right? So this is how our inner wisdom grows because we recognize ourselves in the elements and in these gods and goddesses of the elements, and we recognize ourselves as part of that element and that element as part of us, just like we recognize God in those elements and God as part of us.
Yes.
Ashe?
Okay.
Okay.
We said at the same time. So Pilina Nice, she says, who teaches the dance on Instagram? So we will be, taking you to Brazilian instructors who will be teaching the dance classes. Both Diane and I know tons of instructors. Generally, we've taken a lot of the people on retreats to Fonsebi. Fonsebi is one of the schools, and I've also had people come and just do private dance classes as well on some of my retreats. So either way, we might go to the school or we might have somebody come in, one of the instructors come do a private. So We'll see based on whether the school is open or not because this
Uh,
year, this year Carnival is starting very early, early February. So I think Carnival actually starts February 5th.
oh my
It actually
God,
starts
girl, we're
February 5th
gonna
or
be in
February
there
6th.
for carnival. So whoever wants to stay afterwards and hang out with us in carnival, I know I'm not gonna be able to leave for that. Oh my God.
Right? Right? We could
Girl.
potentially actually thinking about that, do an add-on
We
and
can do an
yeah, we can
add-on.
do an add-on and then be there for Carnival and whoever
Oh
wants to
Lord,
stay.
I gotta start
Yeah,
preparing
right? Who
now.
wants to do 2 weeks? Yeah, so I just found out Carnival is early this year. So it's
Oh
it's
my
gonna be a
God.
lot happening. February 2nd is Festa de Manja, and then February 5th begins Carnival.
So tell us about Festa de Iemanjá. Oh, and Pillin,
Yes.
the dancers that we know, Afro-Brazilian dancers, are spectacular. Pillin's a dancer. Pillin is a
Mhm.
dance, like
Oh, okay, that's
professional
what I yeah,
dancer,
yeah,
also like vibe dancer, teaches dance, professional dancer on stage, blah. She's amazing.
yeah.
The teachers that you will meet down there, they are incredible.
They are.
Incredible.
They are. Natasha just said the dance classes at our retreat was at a Brazilian dance school. That's from Sebi that I was saying. And they were excellent teachers, live band in class too. And that's what makes it so good. Like you have the live music going and then you're dancing. So one of the years I did have one of the teachers from Fonsebi named Paulo. He came and he did it and he brought his band too. So we had the live band and he was teaching and it was a private class for us. So done it both ways. But yes, going to Fonsebi. Hopefully it's open. If it's not because of that time frame, we'll get one of the teachers to come and do a private class for us again. And what I did was I rented out a space and he just did it and it was just amazing. So absolutely amazing. So yes, Amanda, I'll
Okay,
say
let's
it
do
in
it then, Amanda.
3.
We in there. We in there.
Yes, come
Okay,
on,
we in
Amanda.
there.
Oh my God. Y'all, come, 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 come.
Oh
Amanda's
my
amazing.
goodness.
She has, if you are in the DC area, let me just do a little shout out. If you are in the DMV, Amanda has an amazing new yoga studio, Mind Your Body Oasis. And she is the owner and a yogi there, yoga instructor. Another fun fact, real quick, y'all, I was on Married at First Sight as the tantric couples therapist, and we filmed it at her studio.
Yes, I remember
It was
this.
season 10, episode 10. So that was Amanda's studio where I was filmed for Married at First Sight.
Yes.
Yes, so
Tell us,
amazing.
don't forget that. Tell us about what is Festu Yemanja.
Oh,
People
okay,
don't
yes. So
know.
yes. So, Festa de Iemanjá is a celebration for Iemanjá or Yemoja or Yemaya, based on the tradition, the goddess of the sea. She is the mother of the sea. So, February 2nd every year in Brazil, mostly in Salvador, they just started doing it in Rio, but Salvador is like the best by far.
Okay.
Yeah, they started doing it in Rio.
Oh,
It's smaller in Rio, obviously, but it's been growing over the years in Rio. Um, it's a lot of times people will go the night of the first and stay on until the second, all the way through, and we give offerings to Imaja. She loves like perfume, um, flowers. So we'll go and on the retreat we will take a boat. We'll go to the middle of the ocean and we'll do our offerings for Imanja. And it's a really beautiful, lovely, lovely, lovely tradition and experience in Brazil. Yeah.
yes. And it's so interesting because I was just listening to my Chani app this morning. I'm looking at my thing and it was telling me to like connect back to this certain time so that I can remember. And what's amazing about this is that when I moved to Brazil, God, I don't know how many years ago that was, maybe, I don't know, 10, 10, 12 years. Um, the, Carnival was literally set up in the same way that it is right now.
Hmm.
So I arrived a few days before February. went right into Festa de Iemanjá, and then went right into Carnival. That, I have to say, is one of the best months, because Carnival is not just like a few days like people think it is. Carnival is all month.
All
You
month.
don't. It shuts down. Salvador shuts down. There
Mhm.
is nothing but Carnival. Like if
Right.
you think you were trying to get work done or something happening,
Yeah.
no.
And you
Everybody's
see
in the
people are
streets,
boarding up the windows of the stores and stuff like that, closing down stores.
closed, just closed. No,
Mhm.
nothing. You better be in the streets. You better be dancing. You're going to see all the best live bands that you've ever imagined seeing in the street. You're going to be dancing, you're going to be dressed up, you're going to be, maybe if you're open to that, you're going to be making out with people in the streets that you just meet, and you're like, oh, you're cute, hey, you're dancing, then you just keep moving in the car. It's amazing. and
It's
and that
amazing.
freedom and that liberation of just being able to express yourself in so many ways publicly, expressing your affection, expressing your bodily expression, expressing your songs and your affection for someone else in a way that's usually not conventional. For
Hmm.
those of us who love liberation, oh my
Yes.
goodness, it is just life changing, that possibility to not be judged, to not be looked at as strange, as promiscuous, for expressing love
Yes.
publicly.
Yes.
You know?
And that's the thing. Brazilians are so like unapologetically proud of
Yes.
themselves. It doesn't matter the shape, size, whatever. They're comfortable in their skin, and it's just beautiful to walk around and see that there's no shame. There's no
Yes.
shame for
Yes.
for being alive. And it's
Mm.
like when I first got there, I was like, ooh, I bought me a nice little thong bikini. And it's like it's a thong. And they have the little bathing suits that just cover right here.
Triangle.
Right. But even in Europe, like most of the beaches in Europe are like topless for women,
Yep.
right? And so it's like when we go to these different countries and you realize your body is your body. It's a sacred body, but it's nothing to be embarrassed or shame or like, why am I seeing this? Like to be afraid of seeing somebody's body. It's a natural thing.
Mm.
I don't know, like
It's
so it's
beautiful.
just beautiful. I think one of the things, I do have to do a warning too before people come to Brazil. It is an initiation. It is
Mm.
an
Mm.
initiation.
Mm.
So one of the things that I've noticed, like on every last one of my retreats, people have gone through the ringer, all kinds of stuff happening. Just on my last retreat, two people their visa came late. So I had two people who couldn't make it on my last retreat because the visa came after, like 2 days after the retreat. And it was like, so I say that to say, y'all, this is an initiation. Things are gonna happen. It's gonna be a challenge. And when you make it, it's gonna be like, whoo, I made it and I'm here. So start asking the questions, get your deposits in, get your apply for your visa, even if you got to apply for it ahead of time, even if you don't know whether you can make it on the retreat, apply for the visa. Get that out of the way because you'll have it for 10 years, right?
Mm.
You'll have it. So get that visa. That's the most important thing. If I can tell you that one of the first things to do, get that visa because it could be quick or it could be 5 months. Who knows? Um, so
What?
apply for that visa. Good for 10 years. Even if you don't make it, no biggie. Um, because going to Salvador is like going to the moon. It is outwardly, yeah, she know what you meant. She meant Salvador. Outwardly New Porto. I missed 2 flights trying to get there. Yeah, so there you go. It happens like literally every retreat I've had. And then I had someone else got there like 2 days later or a day after. Um, so things are gonna happen, but it's to test your resolve And
Mm.
it's almost again like an initiation. If you've ever been, and if you've never joined a fraternity or sorority, then you know what the initiation is like. It's hard and things happen.
Hold on though,
So
because we're talking about initiation and we've only got a few minutes left. Talk
yeah.
about this last part that's also a big initiation for those who are going to come, which is this Jurema ceremony, an intro to another type of plant medicine that is very dear to the Amazon, that is dear to all of South America in the Amazon and Brazil, Peru, so many places.
Yeah. So hello again to everybody joining both of us. So in Brazil, there's two big plant medicines. Well, they have more than that, more than just those two. But ayahuasca and jurema, they are just powerful, powerful, powerful. It helps you to go deep within, to answer any questions you didn't even know that you had. It is like doing 10 years of therapy in that one session. Yes,
Mm.
all of the information is if you go to the link in the bio real quick, the website is already, we have all of the information on the website. And let me
Yep.
put that website right here too. It's also in the link in the bio.
Yep. You've got the link in the bio. I've got the link in my bio as well. So you can find all of it.
Yeah, if you go to pandaraprim.com, retreat, and then awakening the spirit plant medicine retreat. So, yes, we're going to be doing very last retreat. We did ayahuasca and then Jurema the next day.
Hmm.
Ayahuasca at night and then Jurema that next day starting at like 4 p.m.
But a lot of people don't know what Jurema is. Can you
Okay, yes, I'm gonna
explain?
explain. I'm gonna explain. Sorry. I know. Okay, so more people know what ayahuasca is, which is you got the vine and you got the leaf, you mix it together, you cook it. That is the medicine. Jurema is more of a plant, and it's the plant that they have soaking in honey and wine underneath the earth for under the dirt for I don't know how long, for many years, and um, just there's a word that I'm looking for, like when you do with the herbs when you're making tinctures, the process of what's happening. But
Extracts.
Jude, huh?
The extraction?
The extraction kind of process, yeah. And so similar to Jurema, you drink it. This one has a slightly more pleasant taste, but similar to Jurema, to ayahuasca, you're going to have visions of what you need to work on. The group specifically that I do it with is in Itapuan. Beautiful ladies. There's men and women who participate, but it has that feminine energy with this group where when we drink, we're dancing. You got the gypsy spirit that comes out, and we're drumming and we're smoking our pipes and dancing, and we're having such a good time while we're receiving healing. And so it's like, people kind of, one of the ladies um maybe got incorporated. It's easy to happen, and she's like touching the stomach and giving messages. So just all kinds of things that happen. So with both medicines, you kind of come out of the 5D realm, right? Did I say that right? Or the 3D? um, and you're connecting to life, to universe. You're connecting to the plants, to the grass, to everything. You're opening and connecting to this vortex and seeing things for how it is. Like I'm laying down and I'm looking and I see the aliveness of the plants and the trees. And I know Diana will give a better like scientific explanation. I'm giving an explanation of my experience, right? Like I look and the grass and the trees just look so vibrant, and I could see them talking and moving and their aliveness. And so I've had so many different experiences drinking these medicines. These are both plant medicines where I've had like my father who's in the afterlife come and talk to me and give messages. I've had like realizations of things that I needed to do, that I've needed to heal and work on, that I didn't even know, you
Yeah.
know. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
No, that's a beautiful explanation. And I think it's It's, I mean, clear. It's good to say yes. Of course, both of these plants have DMT, as you said, which means DMT is a natural thing that is released within our bodies. Um, Throughout our lives. The reason that the DMT within ayahuasca or jurema is actually experienced in visions is because it's also paired with something that prevents the reuptake of that DMT. So it allows us to experience the visions and all of the subconscious layers, the other dimension of the invisible that for so many people in their lives they never get to see. And it's really important, I think. A lot of people have a fear around this possibility of going into these other altered states, as we call them. And I just love to remind people that these are really natural processes that people have been experiencing for thousands and thousands of years, just like cacao. Um, these are combinations of plants. Do you know how many millions of plants there are in the Amazon? And for people to say, like, oh, they accidentally just found these two plants that you need to cook for 12 hours together for them to create this psychedelic experience for you. These are ways that the plants have communicated with us to teach us. And that's
Yeah.
still why they exist, to remind us that nature is more primordial than we are. We are part of nature. We as humans are one organism. We're a capstone organism, but we are just a part of this organism, this beautiful, moving, and enchanted and alive organism that is our universe. And so it brings us back into that realization that that's who we are.
Yeah.
And so, yes, sometimes a ceremony might have difficult aspects, but it doesn't mean that that won't be transformative. So parts of those difficulties are us seeing ourselves, which sometimes is very hard to do in this routine, day to day expectations, modern world. You have to do this. You got to get married by this age. You got to do these things. Those of us who did all these things that we were supposed to do, and then we're like, yeah, we did the things. Now what?
Exactly, right?
That's why. And Renee and I, Pranda and I, we're both those people. We are both people that got all the accolades, did all the things, were the top of whatever we were doing, and realized, something here is missing. And it's really important as well to share. There are so many people out there bringing people into plant medicine journeys that are not prepared to do
Right.
that work. We have been in this work for almost 20 years. Okay. The
Yep.
first time I was 23, 24. The first time I ever had ayahuasca, 19, first time I ever had mushrooms, things like that, right? These in the places, in Brazil, in Argentina, in the forest. And it takes a lot to want to bring others into these places, but we've been there so many times.
Yes. Yes. Let me respond on
Great.
Instagram real quick. Yeah. Kiki, Kiki Blunts. She's done ayahuasca. What are you referring? She's like what? This is not how I seen it, and she's laughing. But she's saying, yeah, she's done it, and she loves it. Each person is different when it works on them. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yep, exactly. And she's done it in Mexico and Arizona. Hope you come to our retreat, Kiki. Kiki, do you love me?
Are you ready? Okay.
Yes. And so we got a few minutes left because we do want to try to we wanted to
Answer
try to
this
keep it an hour.
question.
So anybody have any questions? I know there's a lot of comments and stuff. So which we love. Any questions about that? Also, we will be doing hape real quick. Hape is also another plant medicine. It is a snuff that you blow in the nose. It's made of sacred tobacco. It helps to decalcify the pineal gland, helps you to have downloads, and kind of get into that relaxed state. And there's also possibility of combo. We did
Mhm.
combo as well on the last retreat. Um, Got the little marks here. I don't know if you could see it. Probably not with the light. Let me see if I turn off that light. So you might be able to see it. Maybe not.
Oh, I
Anyway,
don't know if I
yeah,
can.
yeah, it's okay. So we'll do Cambo, which is the frog medicine as well, which is all natural vaccination. And we're doing another live. What, September 1st or 2nd? September 2nd. Um,
Our Wednesday is next Wednesday.
yeah,
We'll be back on.
yeah, next Wednesday. So we'll
We'll announce
go
that
more
tomorrow
into that.
or
Huh?
today. We can announce it already. Yeah.
Yeah. Share the difference between cacao strength for beginners versus other plant medicines you've mentioned. I
Mm,
personally find it an easy beginner plant medicine.
yeah. I. That's a great point. Cacao is a way. It's an entry point, and we will be beginning with that as well during this retreat, and as well, it's a way to access emotions, parts of the heart, parts of our journey, and it softens so much of the rigidity that we might have around memories because of its endocannabinoids. It allows us to go into memories more easily. It floods us with really good feel good hormones and allows the body to experience them for longer. So it's a really beautiful natural antidepressant. And then if you're joyful, it's a really beautiful euphoric stimulant. And it's also a way to nourish yourself. It's really has about, why do women crave chocolate? When you crave that chocolate, don't reach for the Kit Kat. Reach for some ceremonial grade cacao because it has everything that you're actually craving, which is all of the minerals, all of the nutrients, and all of the things that replenish you while you're on your cycle, all the iron that you're losing, that magnesium that you need, the copper, the selenium, bring it back into your body with some cacao.
Yes.
um, Smooth those cramps with the magnesium and the anandamide of the cacao, right? That's why I appreciate that, Natasha. That's a really good point. It's a great way to feel psychoactively something, feel something in the body, but
Yeah.
without understanding that you're not necessarily going to go into an altered state. You're not necessarily going to have visions.
Right.
Some people do if they close their eyes. You can have memories and things, but it's very soft. It's a very
Yeah.
soft entry point.
And if I could say, in terms of beginners, like if you want to like classify, I would definitely say cacao, hape,
Okay.
and ayahuasca. um, Cacao's very
Any
loving,
Buddha.
very gentle. Yeah, and then the hape is a little bit more like, oh, okay. And it's crazy because it would have been nice. It would have been nice for me to like have started with the cacao. But I started with, so my very first was actually San Pedro. I started with San Pedro, and
Love.
then after San Pedro, Hape, and then ayahuasca Hape, and then Jurema, and I found cacao way after all of those. So I was like, how on a backwards? Like
I
how is this?
always tell people there's nowhere to begin. Some people
Yeah,
they come to Cameroon to have the wood and to have iboga. They've never had even cannabis in their lives. And I'm like,
yeah,
that's okay.
yep,
You start with what calls you.
yep,
So you
exactly.
call and you answered. That's it.
That's it. Well, awesome. So we're gonna be going on live again next week, and we'll do more. We're gonna actually do a practice. We'll do breath work or meditation practice next week on the 2nd, and we'll go a little bit more into Kambo and a little bit more about maybe other stuff that you might have. If anybody has any questions that maybe they didn't get to ask, or maybe they were embarrassed to ask, send Diane or
Mm,
I a message, and we can answer it on our next live, or we can also answer it to you, but we'll answer it because a lot of times you might have a question, so other people may have that same question. So
so
feel
true.
free to send it to us, and we can answer, and we'll address that on the next live as well.
And last thing, if you're on this live, you can also get a discount off
Oh yeah.
your retreat.
Yes, yes, yes. So Um, we're gonna have two different. If you are on this live, you will get $100 discount off. And if you pay in full, you get $200 off.
You know
So
how many caipirinhas that pays for?
a lot.
How many cravinhos?
Right? you, that's like 2 weeks worth. And if you stay for carnival, you'll be in the money. In the
How many
money.
nipple covers for carnival that'll pay for?
Yes. Ah. Okay. Oh, we got some more. I'd love to hear a bit more about where we'll be for all of this magic. Okay, yes. What will the retreat space be like? From what you said about going to EG Dance. Okay, so yes, we are renting an Airbnb. So we are going to have a beautiful Airbnb that's close to the ocean. So it'll be nice that you can walk to that. Previous years, it's been hotels. So previous years, we would do like get a hotel in somewhere in Salvador, and then drive take 3 4 hours to like where were we going? Itaparica. No, not
Paprika.
Itaparica.
Uh,
Itacare. No, where were we
Itacare.
going?
Itacare.
Itacare. And so now there's a happy medium to not have to do all of that drive and stay near the beach in the Airbnb, where we can do stuff, and there, a lot of the workshops, things like that, be close to a beach and be close enough to Salvador that we can experience all of the things. So, and it's closer to the airport.
Yes.
Um,
And we'll have a private chef, which
Private
is
chef.
like so nice. And then we'll go out when we need to go out, but it's like so nice to have like really healthy home cooked food always waiting for us when we're not
Yeah.
doing that. And it's also nice to have our privacy, to be able to
Yeah.
integrate together, get really close, and not have to be like, be getting interrupted by the other people in the space, or
Mhm.
having to talk about things quietly because you're like, what they know,
Exactly.
they're seeing.
Right. So it's going to be just outside of the city, um, in Stella Maris. Stella
Mm.
Maris. So, yes. So just outside of the city, that's where they have the huge houses, big enough Airbnb houses right on the beach. You can walk to the beach, so it's going to be great. Yes. So, all right. So, Maudie, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Is it Maudie or Maud? So, I just have to say, my mother's name is Maud, but without that I, it's M, or it was Maud, Maude. So, whenever I see your name, I'm like, oh, makes me think of my mommy.
Bless her.
Yes. So, all right. So, thank you for those questions. And let me check Instagram real quick. Okay, so no other questions from Instagram. And all right, so thank you guys. So once again, if you just real quick, you can find wait, what's this? Diane at www.cacaolove.com.uk. You can order your cacao from
You hear?
there.
Yeah.
Her IG is D Love is yours, and her partner have their book Cacao Ceremony, sharing the medicine of the heart. So go ahead and follow her. Go get your book, and yes. So for me, www.pandaraprim.com. You can go on there or to her website and sign up. Once again, if you are on here today, 24 hours. 24 hours you got. Because I don't want you being
Right
like, oh
now.
my God, let me wait and it don't happen and then you forget. 24 hours, you get $100 off. And then if you pay in full, you get $200 off.
And
All
y'all,
right.
you can put this on cards. You can put it on credit card. We
Yeah.
both have the capacity to process credit cards. If you need to put it on Klarna, whatever, to split up payments, do it. It's all possible, however you want to pay.
Yeah. So, And even that deposit, the $500 deposit, can go in what Diane just said, in equal installments and payments, and then later, you could do the rest in those equal installments, if you want to do that. But again, if you want to do the all, pay in full for the $200 discount, send us a message, and I'll send you that link. We'll because gotta send you that link because we just decided. So let me make that link, and then you can still paying that link. You can use a Klarna and do it in equal installments. All right, let's see. I love that. Maud is actually my name too, as per my passport. The I is just convention. Blessings to your mom. Oh, oh, you gotta come. I gotta meet you now. You make you're making me say my mom is here. She is here. She is here. She is here. And
Okay.
blessing this. I
Ashe.
share. I share. So, all right. Well, love you guys. You have a wonderful night. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday.
I'm in
For
Oakland, so in true Oakland style, time to sign off. And
Yes, time to sign off. All right. Bye, everybody. See you next week, Wednesday, for more questions.
love
Peace.
you. Bye.
All right. Let's see. Oops.